This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
You're listening to INCRadio.
Broadcasting live from Chicago, Illinois. DZEM 954 AM station. Here to bring you great conversations about faith, people, places, culture, and recent events all around the district. Join us on YouTube at INCRadio.org. Hello, Northern Midwest and the rest of the world. It's time to get this show started.
Hello, everyone. Yes, it is time to get our show started. I am Elson General Cruz live here from Rockford, Illinois. Thank you for tuning in with us today. And, like in our title there, and as you can see in our link, we're going to be talking about conquering cold or staying warm, right, in this winter weather. I know it's still a little bit cold for us here. So let's talk about it. And actually joining us to talk about, just the things we should be aware of, like in the winter weather, is someone from Chester. I'm gonna let her introduce herself, and also, if you can also mention like your qualification in like talking about things to stay aware of in the winter weather.
Hello, everyone. So I'm actually Marinelle Bernine. I'm from the locale of Chesterton, Indiana. I started working as a healthcare staff. Started as a CNA, and then I became an LPN, and then an RN. My background is with med-surg, progressive care unit, hospice, palliative, and then now I am gonna be an ICU nurse here pretty soon. Just moved here in Indiana from Alaska, so I'm fairly new to the Midwest, but I am here to talk about the health risk for our winter preparation, because winter is coming. Well, actually, winter is here. It's been cold and windy, right? So you do have questions for me?
Yes, we do. We do, because we were coming up with this topic. We kind of like stumbled upon the talking about how sometimes it's a little bit dangerous, so, and things that we gotta watch out for, right, in this winter weather. So actually just want to ask you first is like, what are the health risks that people should be concerned about when they're dealing with winter weather?
Well, we know with this cold winter weather, we gotta make sure we are aware of the possible illnesses, such as like hypothermia and frostbite, because these are the, I would say, main things that could happen, like dealing with the cold, right? So hypothermia is when you, the loss of heat in your body. And frostbite, of course, is like an injury through your skin, and that both of them can lead to death pretty quickly, actually. So,
and actually, I'm a bit curious. Like, what's like as like a nurse, what do you tend to see like more commonly among those, like between those two, between hypothermia and frostbite?
Well, it depends on the area, right? Me coming from Alaska, both of them are very common, especially the frostbites. I've taken care of many patients that had come in the hospital that I used to work at. The frostbite is very common. So there are questions to where they say, how long can you stay out there before you get hypothermia and frostbite? So let's talk about hypothermia. It depends on the temperature, right? And the wind. So with the hypothermia, as the temperature drops and the wind gets stronger, you have like less time before the symptoms appear. So for example, at a -5 degree weather, with the wind of like 10 miles per hour, you have like 28 minutes before you get hypothermic. But it depends. So let's say with the -5 degree weather, but the wind is 35 miles per hour, you only have about 10 minutes before you get hypothermia. So when you get to that point of the hypothermia, you need to be treated. You need a medical treatment emergency. So in Alaska, which we probably don't get here in the Midwest, not a lot, but it can happen at like -40 degree. You have less than 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes before you get hypothermic. So, and I know for sure less than 10 minutes with those that temperature, you're done. You're gonna get it, and you have to go to the hospital or get treated. So with this hypothermia, we know the symptoms it starts appearing. So the first is like many people believe that you have to be wet to get hypothermia, but that is not true. You're going to get hypothermic quickly and severely, but you don't have to be wet to be hypothermic. It's just being exposed to the cold, prolonged exposure to the cold condition gets you that body heat loss. So the symptoms that we're gonna look for is like excessive shivering. People actually get like mental alteredness. So people started like getting confused when they're hypothermic. Because if you think the normal body temperature is like above 35 degrees Celsius, right? 95 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So anything below that is risk for hypothermia. So you start like having mental alteredness, lack of coordination, your heartbeat's starting to either too fast or too low. Also, like it can lead to unconsciousness, which I've seen to many people. And of course, death. So those are the symptoms.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking about like like when let's say you're hypothermic, right? And you one of the things you mentioned is like you can pass out from it. Like I feel like that will lead to like even more serious things, like or I guess not really. And they're both equally serious, like like frostbite.
Yes, for sure. Yes, the frostbite, like the cause of the frostbite is like an exposure below the freezing temperature, right? So which is anything below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So the symptoms are a little different, but it's kind of same. Like with the frostbite, you usually feel it on the fingers, your extremities, like your toes, your fingers. So numbness and tingling. You can have like blisters. You can have like a swollen and tender area on those. It gets pale. You know how like our skin color, our fingers are usually pink. It starts getting pale and yellowish. For like darker skin color, like complexion, like us, Filipinos with brown, it could be like a grayish skin color. And then of course you're gonna feel like those tissue on your fingers or your toes. It feels like a wooden, like a wood when you touch it. It feels like a wood. I don't know how to describe that.
It's like again, I guess the word that's coming to mind first, like solid.
Great. Yes. Yes, it feels like wood. So how do we prevent all this? Like, so for hypothermia, how do we prevent hypothermia? First is we wear properly rated layers, which means like the clothing, right? If it's like -20 degrees outside, I can go out with just my, long sleeve. No, it needs to be properly rated. It needs to be like, probably a jacket that says, it can last or it can stay you can go outside with a -20 degree, or like the boots, right? You can't just wear sneakers outside. But we're all like guilty of that, because I'm not gonna wear an Uggs boot here in Northwest Indiana. But also, it's important to know for a lot of people, it's to avoid cotton when it's like negative temperature, because cotton, when you sweat, it tends to keep that moisture in your body, so it makes you colder. So a lot of people don't know anything about that. Oh yeah, we all love cotton. It feels
I
great.
certainly did not know.
But yeah, because cotton keeps the moisture, and it makes you colder. So it makes your body will be colder, and then higher risk for hypothermia. Now for frostbite, for prevention, always wear clean gloves, keep your ears and face covered, so your hats and your earmuffs. Keep socks clean and dry, because I know when I have wet socks, it's very uncomfortable, and sometimes you just like don't know that your feet are already numb because of that wetness. And also avoid tight socks and boots. I don't know, there's a reason for that, but that's what I, according to my research, you should avoid the tight footwear. And then also the one good tip is, like I said, when you push to check for frostbite. My husband actually got frostbite from training, and he had gloves, he had like all the stuff, but it was like a negative 40 some degrees, and still got the mild frostbite where he can't feel. So up to till this day, he still has it. He still can't feel some of his fingers.
Oh, it like possibly a bit
It
of like.
can like
Still have the numbness and tingling. Yep. And I've seen a severe, like in when I used to work in Alaska, I've took care of many patients that actually have their toes falling off because it looks like a wood.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like a severe, like for elderly people, they fell like shoveling the snow, and they were outside for like 3 hours, and bam, they take them to the hospital, and it's already too late, frostbite. Their toes are already dark and black, and it needs to be amputated. So
Yeah, that's the severe, the severe case. But I do want to ask, like, when you, because you said earlier, like the feeling isn't like, it's not really painful at the start, but it's like numbness. So when you start to feel like, let's say, like for me, I start to feel like the numbness like on my fingers, like how in terms of like like first aid before I even go to the hospital, like what's something that I can do to like uh pardon the wording, like thaw out my fingers
yeah,
safely.
so you can actually put a heat pack, right? Like a warm towel or warm, and some people would go take a warm shower or just soak their hands and feet to like a warm water. Yep,
So not
warm blanket.
like water. So not like
Mhm.
it's warm.
Warm, not hot. You can do hot, but yeah, warm would be best.
And
But those have like long-term effects, right? Because if you already have, like with my husband, he only had the mild frostbite, but now he is suffering because he don't feel those fingers. The tip of his fingers, he don't feel it.
yeah, I remember seeing like a video on it before, like someone talking about frostbite where there's like 3 levels, and I think yeah, like that second level was like like there's like sort of like nerve damage like on
The nerve damage.
yeah, and it affects like
It's called superficial. That's what I was told. Superficial frostbites.
mm. I mean, thinking of like the more the more severe cases, I see why they call it superficial. So I know you talked a bit more about it already, but just like just in terms of like prevention, like just in terms of prevention, like what would you say is something that people should definitely have, like maybe in their car or
Yes.
something?
So for your vehicles, I would say, well, this is to be proven that this is what we should do. You should have your emergency kit, right? And your emergency kit should have your gloves, an ice scraper, a shovel, warm clothing, and then of course we want to make sure our cars and our vehicles work properly. So we want to do our maintenance. I would say a seasonal maintenance. So do your oil change. Let's see, good tires, right? Good tires. Um, but yeah, but me for my own car, for my own vehicle, I have my own emergency like little basket. I have everything in there. I have shoes in there just in case. I have socks and I have flashlights, batteries. For like elderly people, I always make sure if you're gonna travel, always make sure you have your medicine, right? So those are like, but definitely clothing if you want to prevent. And I always have like a lighter just in case for fire. So
Yeah, I think yeah, for us to like, we do need to update it because I don't think we have like any medical supplies in our cars, like bandages and stuff. But we do have things like, we do have things like scarves and not necessarily jackets, but blankets.
yes, I do have my blankets in there, even though like even if it's a small blanket, but definitely with this winter coming up, I'm not entirely sure how it is here in Midwest, like the February. But I know February in Alaska, where I lived, it was negative 52 degrees last year.
And in the Midwest kind of comes and goes. So
I'm prepared.
It'd be you kind of like, even if it's like starting to get warmer, you'd be smart to still have like your winter gear. Like in that,
right. Yes.
the weather can change like quickly.
Yes.
In the
And it's still good to have a properly good, like, maintenance of your car and your tires, right? I actually had a flat tire yesterday. So I got new tires. I was told that all my 4 tires needs to be changed. So I was like, okay. So now I have my new tires for the winter.
Yes, doing your maintenance as well. That's another important caveat of that, like maintenance, so you can avoid.
Yes, because we want to make sure that heater works too.
Yes. Yes, and like, first of all, just want to say like thank you for sharing like all of these things, like telling us like about the things we should look out for, symptoms, and like the prevention and care as well, afterwards, and the things that we should have, we should be prepared for when it comes to conquering the cold. And
For
yes.
sure. So much learning from Marinel. We really appreciate all the info that a lot of these things I did not know. So I'm definitely going to rewatch the broadcast and take notes. But something else that we do want to learn today before we check out of the show, we do want to do our Christian Society for the Deaf. This is your sign. So we'll be doing more learning about the cold, but this time we'll be doing sign language. So we'll be learning about snow and winter.
This is your
Hi everyone, I'm Ivan Kura. I'm the acting president of the CSD, and today we'll be signing the words snow and winter. First off, we'll sign the word snow. So place your hand towards your heart just like this and pretend you're grabbing something from your chest. Then afterwards, have your fingers out like this and pretend they're little snowflakes falling down. So all together, grab and then snowflakes, just like this. And then winter, what you'll be doing is that you'll be making the number 3 or the letter W's with both of your hands like this. You're just gonna shake in front of you just like this. That's it. Now you know how to sign the words snow and winter. Thank you for joining us and see you next time. Thank you.
This is your
Very, very cool. Always appreciate our members of the Christian Society for the Deaf, or the CSD. Thank you to Brother Ivan Kura for teaching us that. And along with all the other different things that the District of Great Lakes is up to, we do want to share our CFO in action to see what we have all been up to. Even though it's been cold, we are still doing some fun things. CFO in action. Yes, we had our family fun day. Shout out to you. You're looking at Bloomingdale right now. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Oh, bowling. Oh, yes, bowling. I'm not good at bowling, but I know that everyone there in the Illinois region, they're always really good bowlers. Chesterton, hey! Let's see if we can find Marinel in one of the pictures. Are you a good bowler? you like to bowl?
No, but I was there.
Yeah. Great. We have Chicago here also. Oh, those are so cute. I love the overlay. I need to go bowling. It's been a minute. I need to have the brethren from Chicago and all of Illinois area teach me how to bowl. Because I don't.
You might have an opportunity to.
I was thought I was good at bowling until I actually met the Chesterton family, and they were good. I'm not good.
We also have Cleveland here. Oh, so cute. Yes, they were eating, playing some games. There's Columbus. Very, very cute.
Doing board games.
So
They went to the arcade.
very cute.
Oh, bowling and arcade.
Yes. Ooh, what's this in Louisville? Looks like
That's Louisville. I was there in Louisville.
yay!
Yeah.
Very fun. Shout out to our Louisville fam. And Milwaukee looks like they went bowling as well. We know who the bowlers are in our district. We already know. They're very good. They're very good bowlers. Shout out to all of the family from Milwaukee and Naperville. It looks like they did. I want to say it's eating out. I think that food special dinner. Rockford family funny food.
Yeah, we had what do you call that? Hot pot.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Food, bowling. Yeah, speaking of food, shout out to Sterling Heights. Woo! The third sister Felly that did make us there. And some upcoming activities for our district. We have the Tagisan ng Salino for the whole district of Great Lakes. That'll be the local level is in March and April, and then the district finals will be in June. We also have our CEBSI district bowling, which is coming up in February this month, 23rd. So if you haven't gotten any info on that, please, ask your local congregation for more things. And of course, before we close out the show, it's always exciting, and I love doing the music for this because the anticipation is always who won from last week for our hashtag challenge winners. We've been doing so great lately. Let's see.
But I think you said you said it so well that it cut out your mic.
It overpowered. Honorable mentions. Woohoo! Thank you for everyone who's tuning in with us. Fourth place is Sterling Heights. Wow! And so is Diana Del Rosario from Jefferson. Yay! Third place goes to Rockford. And third place is individuals to Rachel and Weiser. No way. Third place. Jefferson is second place. Let's go! Look at us. As the second individual. And Bloomingdale still takes the crown with Brother Abel Romero as the individual. Well, you all have to tune in next week because the chat today, I could not read it. It was moving so quickly. So next week, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a different number one, but we'll see. You have to tune in. You do have to tune in to see that. But of course, before we go, do we have any shout outs? Did you want to give any shout outs, Marinelle? To anyone, to your family. They're all so proud of you. I did see that in the chat. They're like, we're so proud of you.
How did I get to the chat? I don't see any.
It's in the YouTube. It's on the YouTube.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Well, I want to shout out to my Chesterton family. That's what's up.
Yes, they're all there supporting you. I wish we could read everyone's names, but thank you to everyone who supported today from all across the district. I did see Cincinnati, Chicago, Sterling Heights, Rockford, Chicago North, I thought I saw, and as well as Grand Rapids, and all of the others who may be watching the replay, because I know some of the locals also watch the replay as well. So before we close out the show, we do want to give our special thanks to not only those who are there in the live chat, but those who continue to support the show. Advance also, by the way, anniversary to Weirton Extension. There will be 7 years tomorrow on February 2nd. And for the District of Northern Plains, Springfield, Missouri will be February 7th, 2 years for them. Congrats! And to all those who have happy birthdays, happy anniversaries. And of course, a special thanks to our Great Lakes Assistant District Minister, Brother Arthur P. Agag, to our District Minister, Brother Elmer A. Sarmiento, to our Northern Plains District Minister, Brother Elmer Parungao, and the rest of the district staff. And a very special thanks to our INC Radio Station Manager, Brother Wally Taray, to our CEBSI President and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Aranyo V. Manalo, and of course to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Go out there, be phenomenal, stay warm, get all those tips from Merinel earlier, write those down just so that you can stay away from frostbite and conquer the cold. Take care, everyone. Keep out for the polar vortex. Watch out for polar vortex.